Heard of it before?
Yeah, I've heard of Liverpool before. Well, actually, there's also a soccer team, named Liverpool, right?
Yeah. That's how everybody knows Liverpool.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, it's like that's my case, right? So yeah, that's how I know. See,
Do you
got
follow English football?
well, I don't watch any football. I only play, so I don't know a lot about it.
Oh,
But yeah,
really? Do you play football too?
yeah, I play football in usually in PE class, like in school.
Ah, I see, I see. Not so much outside of school.
Yeah, and like yeah. Well, actually, to be honest, I'm I only play football in school. You know,
You
outside of
can call
school,
it soccer,
I
don't worry.
yeah. Sorry.
You can call it soccer too. I call it football because I'm British, but you can call it soccer, don't worry.
No. I can call this football because you're British, so yeah. I'm both
Sorry, carry
familiar.
on.
Yeah, I'm familiar saying both soccer and football. So yeah, I prefer football. For you.
There you go then. So what were
Yeah,
you saying? Sorry, you play football in school.
yeah. Yeah, that was what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I love playing football in school. You know, I mean, yeah, there are two choices. So in the how do I say it? In the playground, no, not like if I go outside, then there's a soccer field and basketball court, so I can choose one. But I always choose to play football because I love it.
Oh,
And
oh,
to be
that's
honest,
so
I'm not very good at basketball, so yeah, I have to choose football. But instead, I'm pretty good at football. Yeah,
oh, nice.
yeah.
Is there any opportunity for you to join a football team outside of school, or is it not that common?
Um, yeah. I mean, if I can join if I want, but I don't really try to join the soccer team because sometimes I feel pressure like that. I have to be really good for my team. I don't
Yeah,
really want that. And I just want to play casually with my friends.
yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah, just for fun.
yeah. What do you do? Do you also play football, or you just like watching?
I'm terrible. I don't do any sports anymore. I mean I'm 25 now, so I don't have the opportunity to do any sports in school anymore. We did used to play it in school though. I did really enjoy it, but like you, I don't really like competitive sports because like you said, it's so much pressure and you have to put so much time into it. So yeah, I quite enjoy watching football, but I don't follow football like a lot of people here do. It's quite a, I mean, people here are obsessed with football, like watching it and following the teams, and they get very into it. But it's not really something I'm interested in. I do, like I say, maybe the big matches, the World Cup, the Premier League, and stuff like that. I enjoy Champions
Oh,
League because a few years ago I was in Madrid and Liverpool was in the Champions League final that was playing in Madrid. So I went to see that because it was a really good experience. But yeah,
uh,
apart from that, I don't get too involved.
I see. Like same here. Also, yeah, if it's not like a big match or yeah, like yeah. So yeah, usually like we're kind of similar. I
Yeah,
don't watch. I don't
yeah,
really follow soccer as like the other people. Like
yeah.
there's a lot of people who are crazy about soccer, right? But no, I'm not like them. Yeah,
Oh, me
just
neither.
yeah, yeah, prefer playing and also yeah, but soccer is not my favorite. Like I play soccer only in P times, but side I like math more. Yeah, like mathematics.
Oh,
Yes,
you're more academic.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I used to be a very active person. I used to play a lot of sports, but these days, I prefer studying and maybe listening to English. That's what I like to say. That's yeah, that's what I enjoy doing these days.
So do you enjoy learning English then? It's not something you're doing because you have to. You enjoy doing it too.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoy English. Well, I guess that's such a great thing for me because if you can enjoy, you can learn faster, right? So yeah, I'm very
Absolutely.
lucky. that I enjoy English. So and so I usually listen to English. That's how I usually learn. So maybe that's why feel it feels more enjoyable because you usually like when you learn grammar and vocab, sometimes feel frustrated and sometimes feel difficult, right? But when
Definitely.
you're listening, you don't feel any pressure. Like you can listen whenever you want. If you feel tired, then you can take a rest that day. And but if you have a good condition, you can listen a lot. So yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's how I yeah like how that's how I practice my English, and I think yeah, it's one of the best ways because that's how I learned my native language, which is Korean, right? And that's how
That's a very good
everyone.
point, actually. That's a very
Yeah,
good point. I've never thought of it like that before. It's
yeah.
how we
Well,
learn to speak our own language. So why would you not do the same for another one?
that's right. I mean, yeah, you guys, yeah, when you guys were a very little kid, you guys were listening to your parents over and over again, right? And now you
Exactly.
start to make a simple sentence, and then as time goes by, you start to make long sentence, and now you guys are native. And yes, I'm
Exactly.
also doing the same way. And yeah, well, it's surprisingly working very well. I'm way much better than most of my friends who study English by textbook. I mean,
Mm,
I'm not saying textbook is bad, but yeah, for the communication, I think yeah, listening and also like mimicking, which also known as shadowing, is pretty good.
yeah. And reading. If you want to gain some vocab, reading is always good because if
That's
it's
right.
a topic you're interested in, you will continue to read. But reading in a second language, I think no matter how fluent you are, reading in a second language is so difficult
Yeah,
because
yeah, exactly.
it's a different kind of language. I studied Spanish and French, so I'm bilingual.
Well,
So I do have that experience of learning a second language. And you're right, you're absolutely right. I think you need the textbooks, like, to learn, especially if you're used to learning language a certain way. So with your native language, you learn a certain set of rules, I guess, that you have in your head. But when you learn a second language, you kind of have to change your way of thinking because the rules are different. So that's why I think grammar and vocab are important to a point. But once you've got that base, like you say, listening, speaking, that's where you master a language.
that's right. Yeah, like yeah, that is the point. Like let's say like maybe 60 years old, American boy. Well, yeah, he's just a native, right? But maybe if I ask him about grammar, he doesn't know a lot because he's only 6, but he can speak, right? So yeah, well, that's why I think listening is good, and also for some point, yeah, as you said, like grammar and vocab is important. Well, I think yeah, these for me, I need yeah. Well, that's grammar and vocab. Yeah, I think I need a little bit because I make too many basic grammar mistakes and my vocab is limited. So yeah,
I'm the same.
maybe
Like
yes.
I learned Spanish by living in Spain. So I grew up,
Well,
funnily enough, from the age of 6, I moved to Spain, and that's how I learned Spanish. I was in a Spanish primary school. I was with Spanish children, and I was very young, so I learned Spanish like a natural way, like you say, listening, speaking, things like that. But
wow,
then I was very lucky, and then I had to return to the UK when I was 13. So then I started studying in British schools, and I did study Spanish because I did my university degree in Spanish, and because why not? And I found that my grammar was terrible. So I could speak Spanish, I could speak with Spanish people, I could have a great conversation. But when I was being graded, I always got marked down on my grammar, always, because I didn't learn it that way. I learned it the natural way. So everyone can understand me, I can understand them. So why is it that important? Like you say, it's only going to help you so much.
that's right. Yeah, well, Well, that is true. Well, like even though you don't get a high score on the test, still everybody understands you, even though you make a mistake, and
Yeah,
everybody understands you, right? So
exactly.
yeah, but actually, yeah, but for like if you want to get a good score, then you can also study grammar. But for
Exactly.
like a useful, like if you want to use the language in the daily life, then I think yeah, probably better
Exactly.
listen to it, and also try to speak, and also yeah,
Yeah.
reading, and yeah, as you said. Well, I also read. I used to read like when I was in elementary school, yeah, in English. So yeah, well, yeah, for yeah, like to sum up, yeah, for the useful English, yeah, I think you need to do a lot of listening and reading and
Yeah.
speaking. So yeah, I think that is the key.
And it's like you say, it's you've got to do stuff that you enjoy, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not you just won't take it in. You
That's
won't.
right.
And I can see it's worked for you because your English is great. Your English is very good.
Whoa, really? Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Now I feel very good about it. Well, yeah, that means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Yeah.
How,
Well,
if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
yeah, yeah, sure. I don't mind at all. So I'm, uh, wait a minute, 14 years old. Well, I was confused for a second. Yeah, 14. I'm currently in middle school. So
Oh my goodness, you're honestly. So how long have you been learning English? Since elementary school up till now?
yeah, well, I've been learning. Yeah, I've been studying English since I was fourth grade in elementary school. Then yeah, but and yeah, well, yeah, I practiced a lot, for a long time, especially during the COVID season. Like when COVID happened, I couldn't go outside. I couldn't meet
Yeah.
friends. I couldn't go to a restaurant. Right? It's very boring. I couldn't even go to school. And
Yeah.
when the COVID just started, when COVID just appeared, I didn't even do the online class, so I had to stay in home whole day. And
Oh,
at that time, yeah, I studied English like maybe over 10 hours every
wow.
day for maybe when was it, like 3 months, 4 months. So well, yeah, that's why I think I improved a lot. And
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. For your age, like I mean, you're speaking, considering obviously you've had to do it through school, you can see that the extra things you've been doing have definitely paid off.
well, yeah, I think so too. And I'll keep going because when it comes to language, like the consistency is so important, right? Like even though you're
Absolutely.
very good, but you didn't study for like 2 weeks, let's say 2 weeks, or not even 2 weeks, like 1 week, then your like English level will decrease a lot. So yeah, also
It's what's happened to me. Like well, I remember I graduated university 3 years ago, in the middle of the COVID pandemic, actually. So I wanted to travel and things like that. I didn't have the opportunity. So I abandoned my languages because I had to get work and earn money. And then I went back to Spain 2 years later. I couldn't believe how bad my Spanish had gotten. I was struggling to have conversation with people because I just wasn't using it. And my French, oh my God, I've just started practicing my French again in the last few weeks after 3 years. It's terrible. You can pick it back up again, but it takes time to get back to the level that you were. It takes a lot of time. So like you say, if you leave it, your level just goes down and down and down. It's
yeah.
it's incredible.